And next we have Rob Brome from Alexandria, Ontario, followed by Peggy McDonald. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, representatives, for having the courage to come out this evening. I'd just like to preface this by saying that when I found out that we were having the opportunity to ask questions, I powwowed with the family. And my 15-year-old daughter got the vote as the question, so here it goes. For numerous years, Canada was ranked #1 in the United Nations Quality of Life Index. As of 2010, Canada was ranked 8th overall, behind our neighbors, the U.S., who are ranked in the top 5. As political leaders in our country, how do you explain our drop, and how do you plan on regaining the quality of life our country once had? Ouch, yeah. Good luck.
Another easy one. Rebecca, would you like to start, please?
Absolutely. There's an economist whose name is John Hallowell, and what he does is actually study the economics of well-being. He visited Western European countries, he visited North American companies, and he saw this proportional shift when it came to income gap in countries. We have a very large and growing income gap in this country, and compared to Western European countries, they don't have that. And actually their quality of well-being, their level of well-being is much, much higher. We need to address that growing income gap. We need to address the disappearing middle class. We need to have that disparity identified and see what we can do through social policy to help bring everyone up, not having people reach the ceiling and just not be able to surpass that. We need to work together, and to do that, we need to engage the public in the process like that has been done in Western European countries when they go after making their well-being better. Involve the public in a transparent process. Thank you.
Great. And Rick, would you like to go next, please?
Sure. I think, you know, Stanley Cup playoffs just got underway. And
the Leafs are out.
There's, that's fact, not fiction. You know, who would bet that the #1 team out of the 16 that are in the playoffs are going to win the Stanley Cup? Is that automatic? It's not. And so when I hear these grades about who's judging and how are they choosing, you know, something I've spent the last 2.5 years as a parliamentary secretary at Citizenship and Immigration. And I got to tell you, when the Prime Minister first asked or told me I was going to be doing this, I had no idea why they'd get a blonde, white, blue-eyed guy to do Citizenship and Immigration. But I quickly understood something. I have learned a great deal about our country based on that. I have learned that there are so many people in this world that want to call Canada home, that we have a list that is very, very difficult to get through in terms of trying to get those people here. Whether they be temporary foreign workers, whether they be folks who want to come here as landed immigrants, whether they want individuals who want to work here at high-skilled positions that we're trying to fill. This is the country that people want to come to. And when you take a reflection back on that, and you sit back, like for me, it's been a great experience to understand, yeah, you know what? This absolutely is the best country in the world. Can we do better? We can always do better. But as far as I'm concerned, if everybody else wants to come here, that's a strong message that we have a great country to live in, and we should be proud of that.
Thank you. Bob, and then Peggy.
I think the thing we've learned is that the quality of life for people really depends on a healthy economy, having a job, having access to work, but not working too hard, working well enough that you can, I mean, not working 60, 70 hours a week, but working reasonable pay, and that it depends on a good social framework that is there for you in terms of schools, in terms of health care, and all of the things that go to give people confidence that they're going to be able to get through and do well, and that it's all sustainable. It's sustainable financially, and it's sustainable environmentally. It's sustainable in every sense of the word. And it's a lot easier to have that when the economy is doing well. And you can got a little bit of extra money, you can do the things that help to make that happen. I mean, this may be a huge oversimplification, but one of the reasons why, you know, the index has changed, come down a little bit here, simply is the change in economic circumstances. It has had a serious impact on a lot of people and a lot of families. And it is, I think, that's why the focus on prosperity is an important shared agenda for Canada. But it does require this balance. If you cut too much here, you're not going to get to the kind of well-being that you need and want to get to. The thing that's great is we have actually been able to get these these measurements much better, much more carefully done than ever before. We do know that some ideological excesses on all sides take away from the ability to get to where you need to get to on this common approach to well-being.
Thank you. And Peggy.
First of all, I want to thank the questioner, and who says kids aren't engaged in politics. I thought that was a terrific question. Secondly, I have to say I agree with everything my colleagues have said. There's a recent study, maybe this is the same one you're thinking of in Britain, where with growing inequality, even wealthier people have a poorer quality of life. And so that we know, and we can see it in countries around the world, that less inequality produces a more cohesive society, and everyone does better. I think one area we have fallen down in, especially in addition to growing inequality, and obviously the recession is part of that, is our inattention to a growing problem with greenhouse gas emissions. And I just think we really, as a country, need to do much better on environmental issues. But lastly, I do want to say, I think Canada is an amazing place. I speak to people every day who are very happy that they are here. I mean, yes, we've got lots of problems. Newcomers wish that when they came, we did a better job of recognizing their credentials, and that it was easier to get a start here in Canada. But we still have one of the best countries in the world, and I think we just we need to keep trying to do better. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll allow that 20 seconds of clapping.